Hey there everyone, welcome back. It has been a while, and what I wanted to do was I've had a lot of new people showing up and a lot of people interested in RNG in PLA, especially since the home update, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to do just a complete update on how to do MMO RNG. I'm going to do this for all of my videos because the tools have changed significantly. If you watched my initial CFW lists RNG tutorial for MMOs, the tool does not exist in that method. It looks completely different. It functions completely different. It still gives you the same input and output, but there's been a lot of quality of life stuff introduced. So I want to go in. We're going to do a complete overview on how to do MMO RNG. I'm going to put chapter links in here, so go look at the description for different chapters. I'm going to go over how to get your seed, how to use that seed in the website, how to read your output to understand what it means, because that's the biggest question I get. And then I'm going to show how to actually execute that, how to go in there, how to go to the MMO and actually path it once you have your target. And then from there, I'm going to do both aggressive and I'm going to do skittish Pokemon. So this way you'll be able to see how the multi-battling method works, how multi-scaring works, how revisits work, because some people call them ghosting, I call them revisits. We'll see how that works in my tool, and as well as how to go about the whole process. So by the end of this, you should have a complete knowledge, and you can feel free to skip ahead to where you would need help, or if you've already seen my videos and are really confident, go ahead and skip this video. That's fine too. But another thing to note is that my Discord, full of really helpful people. The only thing we care about here is helping you get whatever Pokemon you want. And it doesn't have to be a shiny. It could be a 6IV regular Pokemon if that's what you want. If you want a Yanma 6IV in a Strange Ball for BDSP, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. We're going to help you get that target. So let's strap in. Let's get to it, and we will figure out how to do MMORNG for non-CFW. This method will work for a Switch that does not have any sort of CFW on it. Although, again, disclaimer, you will have to interact with a sysbot in order to get your seed. So there is some little black magic stuff going on in the background here, but you only have to interact with it one time to get your seed, and then from there, it's all you. And the best thing about this is that it's you going through the permutations. You have to do the work. You still get the shiny. So let's strap in, get ready. This is going to be quite a whirlwind, but we'll get there. And I hope in the end you'll have learned quite a bit. So here I am. I'm on the map. You can see I've got a whole bunch of MMOs. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to find one that we want to use. So go ahead. I'm talking to my Munchlax. I've already kind of scouted things out ahead of time, so I know it's good. Like this Gligar, you can see here that it does have a bonus round associated with it. Generally, you're going to want an MMO with a bonus round, because there's two reasons for that. One, you can get a guaranteed all-alpha bonus round, and that's fantastic. Two, a bonus round will give you the best chance of a shiny. It's because when you're going through and manipulating the first round seed, it affects the bonus round seed. And because you can path through that first round seed in any number of ways, well, not any number, but a good number of ways, you can end up with a bonus round seed that will pretty much guarantee you a shiny. I don't think I've run into a case yet where you will not have a shiny in a bonus round. Period. And again, if it's an all-alpha bonus round, you're going to get a guaranteed bonus round alpha shiny. So that's really cool. So that's definitely why you're going to want a bonus round Pokemon. Now, I've already scouted out this MMO group, and I know that this Yanma outbreak right here, which I'm going to mark, has a bonus round associated with it. So we're going to go ahead and fly over to it, which is actually really close by. It's great. you can see that it's over 100 meters away, which is another thing that's important because we're going to have to do revisits. And when you revisit, you're going to want to get far enough away. So you can see the outbreak right out there in the distance. So how do you get your seed? Let's go into that right now. First things first, let's go to your options. Go to your game settings. Make sure auto save is off. Turn it off. You do not want it on. So go ahead and make sure that's off. And then before you interact with those Pokemon in any way, shape, or form, save your progress. And this is going to be the last time you save for a long time. So what you're doing here is you're saving right here, so then you can reset the game and come back to this MMO before you've touched it in any way, shape, or form. That's the most important thing, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get the seed for all these Pokemon. So, Yanma, they're a little bit difficult to multi-battle, but they are doable. Here's how I generally do it. I hit them all with beans, with cakes, or food, or something. Good. Oh, goodness. That's going to be annoying. I'm going to fall asleep soon. Alright, so that way, if you hit them all, that means that they're all engaged on you. Goodness gracious. Okay, thank you. Now let's hopefully we get them all in the battle. Good, we did. So the reason that I'm multi-battling all 4 of these is because you need to catch the initial 4. And when I say initial 4, I'm saying the 4 Pokemon that appear in the initial wave to get your seed. So we don't want to KO any of these, we want to catch all 4 of these. So let's go ahead and do that. Great. Okay, that's 1 down. We're going to catch the other 3 now. And I don't care what happens to my Spiritomb here. So we're just going to go ahead and catch all 4 of these. And then we're going to use them to get your seed. So go ahead and get them all 4. Now, some people ask me, do I need to have all 4? Technically, no. Technically, you do not need to have all 4 Pokemon. But you need to have, the one that's most important is the very first one to spawn in. And you don't know which one that is. And on top of that, it also uses the other 3 to verify that it is in fact the correct seed, the seed reversal tool. So just play it safe. Play it safe, get all 4 of them. That way you don't have to worry, and you should get a seed successfully. The most recent version of the seed reversal tool, if you're running it on your computer, can deal with a shiny Pokemon in the initial 4, but my seed bots currently can't handle. If you were to get a shiny in the initial 4, it won't be able to get you a seed that way, so just keep that in mind. But since there's no shiny in the first 4, we should be able to get a seed off of this one. Okay, great. We got all 4. That's the initial 4 done. We've accomplished that. So now there's still other things that we need to figure out. So we need to figure out how many spawns are in this first wave, because we're gonna need that information later on. So we saw that there were 4 respawns, which we're going to see regardless. So the number of spawns, and in my website, you'll see 3 options for the number of spawns in the first wave, and that is 8, 9, or 10. Now that is including the initial 4, and technically there's 4 after that, but we're not going to worry about that. So you can see that I've caught 4 so far, and we see a full 4 respawn. So we already know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. So let's see. Once we're gonna battle ones, and as soon as we stop seeing a respawn, that's when we know we've hit our number. So we have 8 so far. So if we KO this one and there's no respawns, that's our MMO. Our first round spawn is 8. And I'm getting all this information ahead of time. I'm KOing rather than catching, so I don't get confused later on. Okay. Cool, they're all out to get me. And yes, that one was a respawn. There was a respawn there. So that one, so we're up to 9. So if there's a respawn here, we know that we've got 10. there's a 10th one. All right, so we know that it's 10, the maximum number of spawns, which is good because that'll give us even more paths to deal with. Now, I already know that this leads to an alpha Yanma bonus round. So what you could do normally is you would be able to go in there and check to see if there's a bonus round. If it's the Pokemon you want, go on. Now you can also find out how many spawns are in the bonus round. I know there's 6, so I'm not going to bother, but just basically count out the same way with the bonus round. Once you run out of respawns, you'll know how many you've got there. So the bonus round can only have either 6 or 7. That's the only 2 options. So if you KO 2 Pokemon and you don't get any more respawns, it's 6. If you do, then it's 7. But there we go. We've caught our 4. You'll note that I have not saved. But we're going to go back to town. And so we've only caught 4. We've only caught the initial 4. So we're going back to town. And now we are going to engage a sysbot. Because we need this. Because we need to get dump files for our Pokemon. Now, the dump files would be used by certain tools to see all the statistics, all of the details about the Pokemon. And what we're going to be doing is feeding that into a tool that uses that information to reverse engineer the seed. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go up here. Alright, and then you're going to need to contact a sysbot. Now, a sysbot would open up would PM you a code. And so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do this in Discord. And so you get a link code. I'm not showing this on Discord just because unfortunately, this one can't go on the internet, so I can't really do it, but I'm simulating this for you. So go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and you go to Discord, you type $dump, and then it will PM you once it gets your turn in queue. It'll PM you a code. In this case, let's say 08111. There we go. And now we're trading. We're just searching for a trade partner. There we go. And I've connected with myself. So, you're going to want to find the 4 Pokemon that you just caught. Now, for your ease, what I would suggest is getting them all in like one easy location. Now, what you do is when you highlight a Pokemon, it will generate a dump file for it. So you highlight, here's one Yanma, then we highlight this one, then that one, and then you're going to want to quit out of the trade. Just quit out. You do not want to actually trade anything. First off, the bot won't let you, and second off, if you did that, the game would be saved. And now that you've done that, you will receive a DM from the bot with all of the dump files of the Pokemon you hovered over. Even if you hovered over other ones, it'll send you dump files for those too. So just get the dump files for the 4 Pokemon you're interested in. And now, go ahead and reset the game. Yep, reset the game. And you'll see why in just a second here. So we're loading up. And if you remember correctly, you haven't saved, if you did this right, you haven't saved since that first one you did right in front of the MMO that you were interested in. And you'll see that in just a second. We're loading up. Here we go. Here we are in Coronet Highlands. Here's the MMO over there, completely untouched. So now we can proceed to path it. So now the next part that we're going to go into is actually getting your seed from those dump files and then putting it into the website and figuring out what the output means. So we're going to hop into that part next. All right, so here we are. We are ready to go and get our seed. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. Okay, you can see that. You can see my lovely SOS Salamence. If you're into that kind of stuff, you can always watch my previous videos on Gen 7 RNG manipulation, which is really fun. Alright, so anyways, gonna go ahead and pop into my Discord. Now, I have 2 dedicated seed bots. I actually have a third one, but that's only for Patreons right now. And so if you go ahead and you see this, you can go ahead and queue on up and type in $queue. And go ahead and do that. And it adds you to the queue. It will, if there is multiple people in the queue, it will tell you when you can join. And when it says that you're up, all you have to do is upload the dump files that you got from the bot. So go ahead. Yep, they're all here. Hit enter. It uploads them all. And then just type done. That's all you got to do. And it will, Arceus bot will tell you that it is now searching for a seed. Now, these seed bots are currently hosted on my own personal computer. So note that. They sometimes do go down. If I had some more support, some more people, I might get a dedicated server for this. But right now it's hosted on my own computer. It's still working fine. But this is, of course, a free service for everyone because I really appreciate you, and I want people to be able to do this without needing a computer of their own. So this is why you can do it all with a phone. All right, so there we go. It says it's finished. It moves on, and you can see that you got Arceus PMing you, and here you go, and it will tell you your seed. So here we go. We got our seed. Go ahead and just copy that whole thing, and we're done with Discord. Now we're going to move on to the actual website itself. So we're going to go and open up your browser page to cappyrng.com. Here we go, cappyrng.com. So we've got it open. You want to go to, we're looking at an MMO. So there's a whole lot of options here. But first, actually, before we even get to that, you're going to want to set your settings. If this is your first time on the site, go ahead and click over to settings. So this allows you to set your research level on a per Pokemon basis. So you can do things like just set everything to perfect, everything level 10. If you have the shiny charm, make sure you check that. And of course, if you are just interested in a specific Pokemon, go ahead and go there. So Yanma, I have level 10 research on both Yanma and Yanmega, and I have the shiny charm. So just make sure that that is correct, because otherwise it will not use the correct number of shiny rolls for your Pokemon, and you might get the wrong results. So yeah, this is something that's new, but here you go. So you can set it on a per Pokemon basis. Like, let's say you have perfect research on Cyndaquil, but only level 10 on Quilava. Now you can rest assured that the tool will do the correct number of rolls for the correct Pokemon. Alright, so let's click over on the MMOs tab, because that's what we're working on. We're working on MMO. So we're going to go ahead and paste in the seed that we got from our bot. Now, if you are doing a normal outbreak, normal outbreaks do work just fine. You can just go here, select your number of spawns. Normal outbreaks have 10 to 15, and then you can select your species here. So that's if you're doing a normal outbreak, it'll work just fine there. But we're not, so we're doing an MMO. So we'll go ahead and make sure that's unchecked. First round spawns. Well, we already calculated this out. We know that it's 10, so put in the 10. What's our first round Pokemon? It's Yanma. So we go ahead and put that in there. Bonus round. Is there a bonus round or not? If this is just an MMO without a bonus round, you're just checking the first round because you're curious, you can do that. Just uncheck this box. But I'm going to leave it checked because we know that there is a bonus round here. Bonus round spawns 6 or 7. Now, I already know that this one is 6, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. But you can count it out. If you had 7, put it 7. Bonus round species Pokemon. It will only show valid bonus round for the first round Pokemon. So like if you selected Yanma, it won't show Teddiursa or anything like that. So these are your 3 options. We know that it's an alpha Yanma only. Now, select filter. This is something new. So this is also something I want to show off. So you can select from a number of different filters. So if you just want to see only the shiny results, you can do that. If you only want to see square shinies, and I know I'm going to get asked this question, what is a square shiny? I'll just do a quick diversion here. In Sword and Shield, they introduced a square shiny type, which only happens 1 out of 16 shinies. It's only visible in Sword and Shield It's sometimes you see the shiny where they have little squares pop out, and I'll try to put a picture on this screen right now so you can see what a square shiny is compared to a regular shiny. That's what it looks like. It's only visible in Sword and Shield, but the calculation for it happens in all games. In all games, so if you get a square shiny in PLA, it won't look any different. But if you were to transfer it to home and then transfer it to Sword and Shield from there, it would be square shiny. So just note that, so you can search for that. You could do alphas only. You can only find your alpha results. Here, 6IV. If you want to have a Pokemon that's perfect, go ahead and select it. Let's select 6IV only. Now, this won't show 6IV shinies. It'll just show all 6IVs. And now that we've got that, these are filters that you can apply after you get your results. So let's go ahead and we've got everything looking right. Click check MMO seed, and it will check your MMO seed. So every result here that is showing, you can see right here, every single one of these is going to be a 6IV Pokemon. You can see its nature, you can see the gender, you can even see how many rolls it took. Since these are non-shiny Pokemon right here, they're going to take the maximum number of rolls. You can see if it's alpha, if it's shiny, and then the most important part is the path, which I will get. This is the path that you will follow to get to that particular Pokemon, which I will go into later. So now you have some extra filters down here. Shiny filter. If you click this, it will only show. It will then filter out those results to only show shiny Pokemon. Unfortunately, there are no shiny 6IV Pokemon in this batch. Alpha filter. If you have any non-alphas, this will only show alphas. Default paths only. This was something that I originally put in before the scaring method came out, but this will show only paths that have D1, 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 only D1s and revisits. So it's something that is technically the easiest path to follow because you don't have to worry about multi-battling, you don't have to worry about multi-scaring, just go through. So that's that. And then multiple shiny paths. Well, this isn't going to show anything here, but we'll get into that one later. All right. So then you've got a whole bunch of different filters. You got 5IV. So this is for 5 perfect IVs or higher. Let's go ahead and see if we have anything here, which we should because we have 6 IVs. Let's see if there's any shinies. Hey, yeah, there are. You can see there's some square shinies here. There's a square shiny and there's a regular shiny. And you can also see that the picture here reflects if it's shiny or not, because you can see. Yeah, that's just something I like. Anyways, so you can filter out. Now these all have 5 perfect IVs. If you want something that only has 0 attack, hey, there's a alpha that has 0 attack. I don't know if that's important for Yanma or not. But yeah, so these filters, you can go ahead and apply them and then apply your results filters to get whatever you want. So if you want a 6IV shiny, you can keep grinding MMOs until you find one. My suggestion would be to find a guaranteed bonus round that has a guaranteed alpha in it, because those always start out with 4 perfect IVs. So save yourself some time and only look for those. But you can filter for any of these things. If you have additional filters, please reach out to me at Discord and let me know. I'm more than happy to add them. It's fairly simple for me to do so. And I was talking to Papa Jeffe. I'm sorry if I mangled your name, but I was talking to him earlier, and he was the one that suggested that we add in like 0 speed and 0 attack and 5 IV 30. So these are things that I added in after talking to him. But yeah, so let's go ahead and check that. We're just going to go for shiny only at this point, because I don't want a competitive Pokemon. I just want a shiny Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. So now you know what? Actually, I've decided that I am going to be greedy today, and I'm going to I want more out of my life, and I want multiple shiny Pokemon out of one MMO, one path. So let's go ahead and use this multiple shiny paths only. Okay, so we have a few results here. Perfect. So this is, you get 2 things here. You get 2 paths, and that's confusing for a lot of people. So let's go over what this means. This first round says multiple shiny path complete for more than 1 shiny. If you follow this path right here, you will get more than 1 shiny Pokemon. Sometimes you usually only get 2, but sometimes you get 3 if you're lucky enough. I've heard rumors that you can get 4, but no, that's really rare. Anyways, this second path that's listed down here is the chained width. This is the one. This is the path that you will. This is the shiny that you will encounter while doing this first path right here. So if you do this one gets thrown in automatically because it's part of the path. So we can do this. We can get 2 alpha shiny Yanmas off of this one MMO, and we're going to do this path. So let's go ahead and get into what the heck am I talking about when I say path. So everything is split into, I've split it into 3 different spots. The first round path. This is the first round. This is what you're going to do to get to the point where you can then do your revisits or clear out the round to make sure that you're going to get your target Pokemon. So whenever you see a D, that stands for despawn. Despawn this many Pokemon for that first step, for each step. So you see a D1, despawn 1 Pokemon. Now this is the easiest one to do. This means despawn 1 Pokemon by either catching it, or battling it and KOing it, getting into a battle and catching it, making it run away if it's a skittish Pokemon. Any of those will work. You just want to despawn 1 Pokemon at a time. So this one for step 1, despawn 1. Step 2, now we see D2. So how do you do a D2? Well, there are 2 ways to do it, and that depends on whether or not the Pokemon is aggressive or skittish. If it's skittish, that's a Pokemon that will run away. You cannot multi-battle them. If it's aggressive, it's a Pokemon that you can multi-battle. Yanma are aggressive. We can multi-battle them. So D2 means that you're going to get in a battle with at least 2 Yanma, and then you're going, at least 2. You can get into a battle with 4 if you want, and then you're going to KO exactly 2, because that's what the step calls for, D2, and then if there's still any Pokemon left in the battle, run away. If you just got into a battle with 2 of them, that's fine. You can just KO 2 and then have the battle end. But the point is that you want to KO exactly 2 and then leave the battle. And this again only applies to this path in particular. Your numbers might be different, but that's what D2 means. If you see a D3, you're going to despawn 3 at the same time, get into a battle, 3v1 battle, or 4v1, KO 3 and leave. D4, get into a 4v1 battle, KO all 4 of them. So that's the second step. You're going to KO 2 at the same time. Third step. Now we are going to despawn 1 again. So we can just catch 1. That's fine. That's easy enough. Then the last step in our first round path is D2 again. So again, we're going to get into a multi-battle. We're going to KO 2 of them and then leave the battle. Doing all that, you finish your first round path. Now you've exhausted out the number of respawns, and you can move on to either clearing out the round or revisits. I'll go over what a revisit is right now, so that I will explain it, and then I'll actually go ahead and show it so that you can see what it looks like. So you can have a revisit. The way I do it is that I have a revisit and then 1, 2, or 3 numbers. These all have 1 numbers, but I'll go ahead and show some others as well. But you get the number of Pokemon left in the MMO down to that number, the first round of the MMO, down to this number, and then you are going to travel back to camp and then return to the MMO spawn point. What this does is, in the background of the game, it tries to generate spawns to fill in the gaps, and it causes seeds to advance, and that's not really important. It's really interesting for me, but it's not important for people who are just trying to RNG manipulate. But the point is that it will change your RNG state, and that's what we want. So in this case, after doing this, you would catch Pokemon until there are exactly 3 Yanma or Yanmega left for the MMO. Exactly 3, not 2, not 1, not 4, 3. And then you would go back to camp, and then fast travel back to camp, and then come back to the spawn. And then you'll see all 3 there. You've done it. Now you can clear out, now because there's no more revisits to this one, just clear out those remaining spawns, and then the bonus round should start. Now, if you see a revisit like this one right here, is revisit 3-2. In this case, you would get 3 spawns left. You would get it down to 3 spawns left, leave, go back to camp, come back to there, then catch 1, so they had to get it to 2 spawns left, leave, go back to camp, return, and then return to the spawn point, so there should only be 2 there when you get there, and then catch both of them to clear out the remaining round. Sometimes you'll see a revisit 1, just get it to 1 left and come back. Sometimes you could get really unlucky and it would be like revisit 3-2-1, which is possible. But that's what a revisit is. I'll show you. Don't worry, it sounds really intimidating at first, but it's really not that bad. So anyways, that's your revisit. So at this point, after you've done these first 2 bits here, the first round path and the revisit, now you've started your bonus round at this point. Because you did D1, you did D2, you did D1, you did another D2, you got it down to 3, you went back to camp, you came back, then you cleared out the remaining 3 spawns. The bonus round is now starting. You've got all these Alpha Yanma. And also one of them will be shiny just because you see the initial spawn. Sometimes you'll see initial spawn here. That means that in the first 4 that spawn in the bonus round, then the first 4 that spawn in the bonus round, that the third one will be a shiny. So you'll see a shiny one right away if you follow this path that I'm talking about up here. Now, sometimes you'll have a bonus round path, which functions exactly the same as the first round path. So in this case, you see D3, you're going to get into a battle with 3 Alpha Yanma at once, which is horrifying, I know, but you're going to KO 3 of them in one multi-battle, and then run. And then you should get this Pokemon, this shiny, with this IVs, this gender, this nature, everything exactly as you expect. So that's how you can read your results. That's how you can filter out to get exactly what you want. And now the only thing left to do here is execute. So we're going to go ahead in the next part. We're going to follow this path that I'm highlighting right here. We're going to follow this path. We're going to get both these shinies in the path, multiple shinies, and we're going to feel pretty good about ourselves. So yeah, just stick around. That's coming up right now. Alright, so here we are. We're going to actually do this in the upper left of the screen here. I have put in a screenshot of the path we are following, so that way you can follow along without getting lost. You don't have to go back in the video. So let's go ahead. We're going to do this from step 1. So I've got my globs. I'm ready to go. So step 1, we're D1. I usually just catch because that's the easiest method to do. And caught. So that's step 1 done. That was not too bad. So now we have to get into a multi-battle. We need to get in and do a 2v1. Alright, did we get at least 2 in the battle? Yes, we did. Perfect. Okay, so you can see that I have 3 in this battle. We only want to KO 2 of these Pokemon, which shouldn't be too hard. I've got a level 100 Spiritomb. These things are fast, which is annoying, but we will make do. Alright, let's go ahead and just KO 2. So that's 1 down. And one handy thing is if you were like, how many have I KO'd this battle? Look at the upper right. It says you'll have a number of circles equal to the number of Pokemon you got no battle with. And then as you KO them or catch them, catching them in, you can catch 2 in a multi-battle, which would be fine too. As you KO or catch them, their circle gets grayed out, but it's still there. So you can see now, okay, 2 are gone. So we don't want to KO this third one or else we'll be off the path, and then we'll be very sad. So now we just run away. And you'll see 2 more respawn in. And now we need to do another D1. That's for this path. We do a D1. So we go ahead and catch that. Perfect. Alright, so now you see 4 over there. We are going to get into a battle with 2. We need another 2v1. Here we are. We're just in a battle with 2 of them. So when we KO both of them, it'll just be over. That's okay. That's fine. Alright, and we have, after this, we'll have finished our first round path. Well, maybe. I mean, okay, we gotta now wait for this. Don't be drowsy. Sweet. Okay, great. Thanks, Bertome. Okay. So now you can see that we have 4 Yanma over here. Now we are doing the revisit part. You can see that it was revisit 3, so we want to get our number of spawns down to 3. There should no longer be any respawns after this, but here we go. I'm just going to make sure. Catch this. And you can see there have been no respawns. There are 3 Yanma left. So now, this is the revisit part. Since we're not in battle, we can fast travel. Just going to go ahead and fast travel back to camp. So you saw there were 3 spawns left, because it's a revisit 3. And then we go, and we fast travel back to camp. Ideally, you need to be at least 100 meters away, but fast traveling back to camp is usually the best method, because they're almost always far enough away. So we did that, and that's all there is for the revisits. That's all you have to do. Literally, that's it. You're done. So now, since we only had to do the 1 revisit, just go ahead and clear out the remaining spawns. And we should, right away after we clear out this last one when the bonus round starts, we should see a shiny right away. New horde spawning. Yep. You see, there you go. So that's, as you can see in the upper left, if you're looking at the upper left, you see that it's chained, the multiple shiny path is chained with bonus initial spawn 3. That was initial spawn 3. So there we go. So now, we need to, unfortunately, get into a battle with 3 of these at once, and then KO or catch 3 at once. So let's go ahead and get in this. We're going to involve our good shiny friend over here. Maybe? Let's see. Did we get 3? Yes, we got 3. Okay. So, again, you do not need to KO them. You just need to despawn 3 at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch the shiny one. Because I would like to. And the reason we're doing this again is look at the multiple shiny path in the upper left, and it is bonus path D3. So the bonus round started, and now our path is D3. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and... Nope. We're going to switch to an Ultra Ball, and we're going to catch, or attempt to catch, this Yanma. Hopefully we do. Okay, great. So he's out of the fight. We're good. So, even though I caught this one, and then I'm going to KO these next 2, it's still okay. It's still fine. The important thing is KOing them all at the same time. And hopefully we'll be able to... Gosh, I really hate getting into battles with multiple multiple alphas at once. It is horrible. No, that's super effective. That's also super effective. Come on, y'all. Let's just go ahead and go crazy on these things. Because once we get it down to 1, it'll be less hard. Okay, great. So that's 2 down. Just need to finish off this last one, and then the respawns will come in, and we'll see that one of them will be shiny. Theoretically, I still have to actually KO this one. Alright. Shadow Ball. Didn't quite finish it off, but that's okay. This should do it. Alright, now let's see the respawns coming. And there you see, right there. Just as predicted. And now, since I don't have to path anymore, I'm just gonna catch... Oh, nope. Oh gosh, they're just trying to kill me. I'm just gonna quickly glob this one. And hopefully we catch it this... Okay, great. Now, let's get out of here. Okay, so there we go. We caught 2 shinies, just as we predicted. Looking up in the upper left there, we got 2 shinies off that one MMO because we found our seed, and no CFW was involved whatsoever. Well, okay, no, that's not exactly true. No CFW was involved other than the sysbot. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know that I actually got the right Pokemon? Well, the odds of you getting 2 shinies just naturally on MMO are pretty low. So that's probably the biggest proof. But let's look at the IVs here. So, excuse me. So the way the game works is that the IVs actually exist, and if you were the IVs actually exist, and if you were to transfer this over to home, you would be able to see the IVs as they were. But if a Pokemon has an IV of 31, it will start out with an effort value of 3. So you can see that this second one, this is the second one that I caught, which is the actual statistics you can see in the upper left. It has 3 in HP, 3 in defense, 3 in special attack, and 3 in special defense. And it has 2 in attack, which is correct, and 1 in speed, which is also correct for the IVs we're looking at. So, yeah, and then we have this one over here, which is different IVs. We can also go ahead and check its summary here, and check its nature, and you can see that it's an adamant nature as well. You can also see its gender. It is female, because the gender ratio is also important. And, of course, it's a shiny alpha. So this is the best you can do in PLA without actually getting another... You can actually dump this Pokemon if you want and read the IVs off of that to make sure, but I'm not gonna... Don't go too crazy about it. You got 2... For this one, you got 2 shinies in 1 MMO. What are the odds of that happening this naturally? But there we go. So that's how you do revisits, get your seed, and follow a path for an aggressive Pokemon. Next up, I'm going to do a skittish Pokemon, because for them, if you have a D2 for like an aggressive Pokemon, you get no multi-battle with them and you KO them. For skittish Pokemon that run away when they see you, the method is different, and even though the results are the same, which is despawning multiple Pokemon at once, the method is different enough and it's difficult enough that I want to go over that. So we're going to go ahead and do that next. Alright, so this is going to be about skittish Pokemon. Now, I'm going to start this off by talking about what is a skittish Pokemon, what is an aggressive Pokemon, because I've used those terms quite a bit. So an aggressive Pokemon is any Pokemon that will fight you. Like if you see it, probably the best example of an aggressive Pokemon is everyone's favorite, Paras. Because if it sees you, it will try to fight you. It's very easy to get into a fight with multiple of them. Any Pokemon that will do that, even if they initially just run up to you and are curious, but as soon as you bonk them with an item or catch one of their friends, they'll try to fight you. Those are aggressive Pokemon. Those are ones you can multi-battle. That is, you could use the previous method. So just go back a couple of chapters and you'll see the method for multi-battling and pathing that. Skittish Pokemon is the flip side of that. It's a Pokemon that will either run as soon as it sees you, or if you do something to startle it, it will try to run away. Some of these will, like Togepi or like Chansey or something like that, some of these Pokemon will try to attack you and then run away, but they never actually trigger your warning light and you can't multi-battle them. So those are skittish Pokemon. there is also a third class of Pokemon that I want to talk about. These are what the RNG community is calling oblivious Pokemon. There's very few Pokemon that fall into this category. There's Lickitung, there's Magikarp, and that is about it. Those are really the only ones that, I believe there's a third one. Lickitung, Magikarp, and yeah, I think those are it. Anyways, those two Pokemon cannot be multi-battled, and they also cannot be scared away, so you can't really path them unless you have some insane luck. So you can't use either method, either the scaring method I'm going to go into or the aggressive method that I just talked about. In addition, some skittish Pokemon are a lot harder to use this method on. For instance, I'm going to use Basculin as the all-time champion of difficult skittish Pokemon pathing, because as soon as they see you, they just run. It's very, very difficult to despawn multiples at the same time. So, like, Basculin is really rough. I've heard horrible things about Abra. Let's see what else. I've also heard that Cyndaquil can be quite difficult as well. So just keep that in mind. As you can see here, I've got my screen up and I've got a Ponyta outbreak. So we're going to go into next how to do a RNG path for a Pokemon that you cannot multi-battle. So we're just going to get into that right now. So let's bring up our tool here. I've already got the seed and everything. If you're curious about how to get a seed, go back a couple chapters where I actually go over how to actually get your seed. And here we are. We're already here at the website, and we've already put in our seed, put in all of our information. It's a Ponyta outbreak with an alpha Ponyta second round, and we want to get an alpha shiny Ponyta because those things are really cool looking. So you can see right now we've got our basic paths here. There's also a shiny one on a path here, but you can see we've got our paths, and so now your question is, okay, D1s are easy enough to do with a skittish Pokemon. How do I do like a D3? So I'm going to talk over the method here, and then we're going to actually execute it. Now, that's going to be a little bit difficult. There is some trial and error. So again, make sure you've saved in front of this because you might have to retry it a couple times. So I'll go into it. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to try to make the number of Pokemon in your path. So like for instance here, D3, we need to despawn 3 at the same time. You're going to try to make 3 of the Ponyta try to run away at the same time. Before they despawn, you're going to fast travel back to camp, and then you're going to return. It sounds a lot like a revisit. It's sort of like a revisit, but it's not. So what happens is when they start to run, the game flags them as running away. Even if they haven't despawned yet, it flags them as running away. If you fast travel away from them at that point, the game, you get too far away, the game unloads them and goes, okay, they were running away, just remove them, and then when you come back to see them, when we come back to the spawn, it will then go, oh, well, we despawned this many Pokemon, respawn in that many. So if you do it right, you make 3 Pokemon, for instance with this path, you make 3 Ponyta run away at the same time, fast travel back to camp, it will then despawn all 3 of those Pokemon at the same time. And then when you return to the spawn, it will then spawn, it will do 3 additional respawns, which is exactly the same as what happens when you multi-battle. So functionally, it's exactly the same. And then that's all there is to it, essentially. But it's a lot harder than it sounds in practice, just because some Pokemon attack you before they start to run away. Some Pokemon run away really fast. Like as soon as they see you, they just despawn instantly, and you can't have them actually despawn. They need to still be on the map. And then there's also some Pokemon that take a couple of startles in order to actually make them count as running away, like Cyndaquil. So that's why there's some difficulty here. But it's still possible. It's still doable. So I would recommend for your first Skittish, don't try to do anything that's above a D3, that's above a D2. Just do like this one here. This is not a bad path to do, except for this part at the end here, which is terrifying. But don't do anything too crazy. Like this would be fine too if it wasn't so crazy. This isn't a bad one either. Actually, it's D1, D2, D2. Oh, hey, there's a multiple one. D2, D1, D1, D1. Revisit 3, 2. Yeah, okay, let's do this one. This is actually pretty decent. So let's do this. So don't try to do more than like a D2 at first, just to make sure you get it right. Now, the biggest question is, how do you know that you're on the right path? When you when you try to scare them and you come back, how do you know if you're right? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. So in this case, let's count the number of spawns respawns that you're gonna get. So this is if we scroll back up to the top here, and this is a multiple path, so we can do that. Okay, so there's 9 first round spawns. So -4 right away because you have their 4 initial spawns. So there's going to be 5 total respawns for this particular MMO. So it's going to respawn 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will exhaust all the respawns. So the way you can tell if you're on the right track is after you complete this first round path and then you capture the first one to try to do that, get that spawns down to 3 because there'll be 4 Pokemon left at that point. You catch one, it should not have any respawns. If it respawns one, you know right away that you're not on the right path. You didn't despawn the right number. If you get to this point here and there's not 4 Pokemon, you know you've done something wrong as well there because the number of spawns don't match up. So when you complete this, you should have 4 Pokemon left and there should be no more respawns. And so that you could just do that math to figure it out. Again, it takes some trial and error. It's going to be a little bit trickier than multi-battling. But the results are really cool because an Alpha Ponyta like this, a shiny Alpha Ponyta, would normally not be possible before we discovered this method, which again is credit to the original forum that discovered this. It was I believe, a Chinese forum that figured it out, and then it was tested out by Kurt and Anubis. So special thanks to all the people who discovered and tested this method. And then I tested it out as well, and I made a few videos on it. So let's go in and actually try to path this. Now, again, this will probably take a couple of tries, so I'm going to cut now. So you'll see a cut, and we're going to cut to the actual success. And I guarantee that this will not have been the first try. In fact, I was testing out this seed last night, and it took me about 5 tries to finally get it right. So just so you know, nobody's perfect. But I will catch you after the cut. So here we are. I've put in the upper left the path that we're going to be following, and it's the first one. This is a multiple shiny path with revisits, so we get to go over this whole process again. So the very first thing we're going to want to do is a D2. So Ponyta are actually pretty useful because they don't immediately run away as soon as they see you, but still, the process is fairly simple here. You're going to want to use a stealth spray, and we're going to want to use smoke bombs just to be a little stealthy so that they're not going to try to just all run away right away. So how do you scare them? You're going to use food to do that. So if I were to throw a mushroom cake at this Ponyta right here, you would see a red exclamation point appear above its head, and then it would start to run away. When you see that red exclamation point appear above their head and start to fade away, and they start to run, that's when the game is considering them as running. So now we need to just make 2 of the Ponyta do that at the same time, and then fast travel. So a thing that I find best to separate out the herd, so to speak, is food items. So I'm going to actually use these mushroom cakes here, and I'm going to throw them over there, and I'm going to try to get them separated out. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. We got one right there. Let's throw one right there. This is way trickier than it seems sometimes, because see, now we have this third one that's just kind of like hanging out over there. Yeah, we have like, yeah. All right. Yeah, it's really tough sometimes. And now they see me, but they're not running away. So yeah, this is not always perfect, but it takes a little bit of practice. So hopefully we're going to do that. And now we'll do 2 over here. We just want to get the 2 of them separated out so that we can get bonk them both. 1 over there. Come on, another one. Come on over here. There we go. No, that's not it. This is going to be rough. Let's try it. Okay. Alright, so we see the exclamation point up above their head. We hit both of them. Bring up your menu immediately. They're not going to be able to run while your menu's up. So we got this. Immediately fast travel back to camp. So we're at camp. So now, hopefully what happened here is that the game itself says, okay, these 2 Ponyta were running, therefore despawn them. And now when we come back over to them, over to the spawn point. Oh, and this is the wrong spawn point. Let me move my pin. When we go back over to the spawn point, the Ponyta will be will respawn in, and it will do essentially a D2 for us. So that is the hope. Now, like I said in the earlier part, we're going to basically be counting the spawns because we know how many spawns should be left. So we won't know exactly until we reach the bonus round. But since we have an initial spawn shiny, if we get that initial spawn, we should be fine. And then we could do the remaining path for the other ones. All right, let's see. How many Ponyta are left? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 4 Ponyta, which is a start. But again, we don't know how many are actually left. So because we don't have any tools to do that. So I'm going to go ahead, pop another stealth spray. The remaining, we have D1, D1, D1. So this is pretty easy. We're just going to go ahead and just catch 3 Ponyta. 1, 2, and you can go fairly quickly at this because it's almost impossible. Ooh, that's an alpha. Okay, so that's a good start. We see 4 are left. Now, we need to do a revisit 3, 2. I'm going to want to really catch this alpha Ponyta, not because it will affect our results or anything, but because if it roars at us, it will probably scare away all the others. So hopefully there will not be a respawn after this one. Alright, there's not a respawn. There are 3 Ponyta left. So now we revisit. And it's because let's looking up at the upper left. We think we're not 100% sure, but we think we did a D2, and then we know we did D1, D1, D1. Now we have the spawns left to 3 because it's a revisit 3 first. You always have to do the leftmost one first. You can't do a revisit 2 then 3. It just won't work. So you're going to do a revisit 3. So we're down to 3 spawns. So we'll go back to camp. Okay, great. Now we go back to the spawn. And this is always the annoying part because sometimes you run out of time if it's too far away. But there's really no closer spawn, unfortunately. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, almost there. So now we have to do this revisit. And then we have to catch 1, and then revisit again. And then we clear out the remaining spawns. Stealth spray wore out. That's not a huge deal. Let's go ahead and catch this one. Now, okay, here's another good point. That one is running away right now. Wait for it to stop running before you fast travel away. Because if you fast travel away right then, while it's still running, it might count as a despawn, and now you're hosed because when you come back there'll only be one spawn, and you didn't revisit 2, you revisited 1, and now everyone's sad because now you have to retry. So just note that if you are doing a capture like that, make sure that all the skittish Pokemon stop running and are hanging out. Gosh, this is an annoying flight. Oh goodness, we're almost out of time. Alright, let's do this fast. Alright, now this one we just have to catch these 2. There's 2 left. Let's go ahead, catch them. We may not get the second round here because of how far this is. Alright, so now another thing to note about skittish Pokemon and alphas is that if one of them roars and the others don't see you and engage you, all the other ones will run away. So this could be bad. We could end up with a situation where we end up not being able to catch our shiny. So just make sure that you're being seen. Oh, okay. Alright, so we got 1 shiny, so I think we got our path. So, come on. Okay, so our bonus path for the second shiny was D1, D2, so we need to catch this one. Okay, now we need to do D2. So we got 2. Alright, so I think we barely got in there, but given that we got the bonus initial spawn 1 alpha shiny, I'm pretty sure we ended up getting this correctly. But there we go, we just have to kill off this second Ponyta, which again should be fairly simple. Oh, okay, we didn't kill it, but we got one more try. And then, if we got it right, there will be 1 respawn, and it will be shiny. And we got it! Alright, and just as the rainstorm ended. But, it's okay, it's still here. Get in the ball. We did it! Alright. And we're not in combat. So again, we can verify things by looking at the stats and everything. This is actually a pretty decent. The one that we found here is actually pretty decent. 31, 31, 31, 20, 27, 31. It's lax. I don't care that much about nature's female. I don't know what the other one has. Just looking at it. Let's do a quick look, actually. Let's go ahead and bring up our screen capture. So yeah, this only shows the stats for this one. So these stats correspond to this particular one, but we can always look and see this one. Let's go ahead and copy this bit. I don't have a better filter for that yet, but you know, it might come down the pipe later. Go ahead and check this. Alright, so here's the initial spawn 1, 35, 5, 18, 31, 31, 31. Okay, so that's what that one. It's also a female. So there we go. We caught both of them. And we could always go ahead and check its stats if we so desire. But given that we got the 2 shinies, I'm pretty confident in saying that we did it. Yeah, so let's replace Stevie over there for a second. Yeah, that's all there is to doing a multiple shiny path, how you do a multiple shiny, how you do revisits, how you do a skittish Pokemon, one that will run away, how you do an aggressive Pokemon. This is everything you need to know about MMO pathing, how to get your seed. Another thing is that because I actually just hit 600 subscribers, I am going to give away all 4 of the Pokemon I caught in this video. So the 2 shiny Alpha Yanmas, the 2 shiny Alpha Ponytas, all 4 of them are going to be given away in my Discord. So go ahead and join that. That should be up shortly after this video comes up, and I'll run it for like 5 days or so. So that's just a thank you for everyone for continuing to support and watch the videos and give me comments and everything. I really appreciate everything. If you have any other questions, I am always happy to help. And I have a Discord full of people that are also really happy to help. And we want you to get your shinies. Like, you want an Alpha Decidui? Yeah, sure. Typhlosion? Yeah, why not? Heck, a Spiritomb? You've seen this guy before, but yeah, sure. We can do all that. We'll help you. And there's also other pathing methods. Come check out my other videos for multi-spawners. Because those are a really great way to get some Pokemon that are not in MMOs, like Eevee or Combi, something like that. And yeah, that's all I've got for today. Again, a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters for helping me move the website to a much better host and giving me that security there. And also special thanks to Papa Jeffe. Because of or Papa Jefe, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name again, but special thanks to you as well, because I know that we have a lot more interest in this because of your recent video, so thank you for that. Anyways, I will catch you all next time, and until then, good luck on your hunts.